What is good, guys? Welcome back to the Benefit Podcast, bringing you everything you need to know about living your best life. And the title of this one, as you might imagine, it's that message that every parent fears that they're going to get. To be honest, I'm sure there are many messages that parents fear they're going to get, but for us, it happened. It hasn't happened very often at all. But Sunday morning, we're all getting all sorted. We're all ready. We're all, having a nice time at the weekend. The sun's shining. We're planning a nice day. And then we get the message from the childminder to say, I'm really, really sorry. I'm not feeling well at all. I need to go and see the doctors tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to watch Louis Monday or Tuesday at least. And I'll keep you posted as to what gets said. And instantly, obviously, the first thing we're thinking is, I hope she's okay, because she's absolutely phenomenal. Like, we're so lucky, so grateful that we've got her as Louis' childminder, because she is genuinely fantastic. And we definitely wanted her to be okay. And then the second thought was, oh shit. Because we both work full time. Like, Lara was supposed to be in the office on Tuesday, so that was a day where it would have meant me trying to manage like the whole situation. Right, how do we tag team? Have we got anyone that we can call upon to help out, for even if it's just for a couple of hours? All of a sudden, panic mode kicks in a little bit. And as it turned out, it wasn't actually too bad. So Monday, we were very fortunate that Lara's mum was able to come and watch him for a couple of hours. So it meant a little bit of tag teaming. Lara had a call at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I took the first shift to watch Louis while she took that call. She then managed to finish that call at probably 9:30, 9:45. I was then given my little turn to do the work shift. I think Lara's mum probably turned up sometime between 10 and past. So Lara was then able to get back on with work. And then we had some lunch, and then Louis went down for his afternoon nap, which he's napping for quite a long time in the afternoons at the moment. So his afternoon nap at the moment is probably about 3 hours, if not a little bit longer. So there was a decent chunk of time available to do that as well. And then I had to finish work about 4, just because that was when he'd woken up. And then, the situation was just a little bit crazy. And then Tuesday was a little bit harder work, just because we didn't have any help at all. So Lara took him out nice and early to just go over to the park, so I could get my sort of couple of hours done nice and early. She then got to work. We swapped. I took him out for a little bit of a walk just to get a bit more fresh air and just to stretch the legs. He actually had a little bit of a nap in the pushchair. And then thankfully, we had a message from Monique is our childminder. We'd had a message from her on Monday evening, I think it was, to say that she was feeling a little bit better. She got some antibiotics from the doctors, and that she would be able to take him on Wednesday. So it was Monday and Tuesday that we were having to manage a little bit, but yeah, that message came through, and it was just that fear of, right, how long is this going to last? Because it's not uncommon in France for doctors to sign people off for a week or two at a time, especially with the nature of that kind of thing. Like, bless her, she's obviously around kids who are getting ill. Both of the other girls that go to the same childminder, they'd both been sick. They'd had fevers, they'd had temperatures, they'd had like infections. So in some ways, it's not surprising that she had picked something up. I did also have to pick Louis up early Thursday the week before, because he'd woken up with a temperature and he was struggling to settle himself down. So there has been a little bit of something going on, but fortunately these times are few and far between. It just obviously highlights in those moments that it is pretty tricky. It can definitely be a little bit tough to manage. You need to try and make sure that you're managing the situation as best you can, and doing everything possible. So it's an interesting one, and one that I thought would be nice actually just to see how other parents do things, because I know there's going to be moments where that happens for everyone, where kids are sick from school. Even school holidays is probably quite a good example, especially that long school summer holiday, where if you're both full-time working parents, suddenly your children, they're off school for 6, 7, 8 weeks at a time. How do you manage that? It's not like both of you as parents can just take 6, 7, 8 weeks off over the summer. Are you splitting holidays? Are you calling upon your own parents, grandparents? Are you putting them into summer clubs? Like, it's an interesting conversation, because it's one that we are going to face, in the coming years. Louis will start school, or like preschool, next September. And then he's going to get to that point where he is going to start to need, some sort of looking after in those moments. And I'm sure there's going to be situations where Lara's mum can do some bits, like my parents, I'm sure, will come across. When Louis is a little bit older, we can probably even get to the point where we even like take him to my parents and my parents look after him for a week or two, whether that means that Lara and I are also there, whether that means that we maybe, come back and then we go back again. There's all of those different possibilities that are there. But yeah, it is an interesting one. And it is, like I said, is that in that moment, you're just a bit like, oh no, what are we going to do? Like, this is not what we need right now. But I'm also trying to change my mindset on that a little bit, because I think the instant sort of, shit, I've got work to do, we need to try and sort this, that and the other. Actually, if you try and think about it a bit more positively, it was actually a nice opportunity to spend a bit more time with him. We don't get masses of time with him when you really think about it. Like, we get the weekends together, but mornings and evenings, like the mornings are usually pretty rushed. They're pretty chaotic. It's a case of, get him up, get him fed, get him dressed, and pretty much then getting him ready to go to the childminder. We get back in the evening, there's a little bit of playtime, and then it's the sort of dinner, bath, bedtime routine. So actually having the opportunity to just have, an extra few hours with him during the week was quite nice, because he's at a testing age, don't get me wrong. He's just about to turn 2, but he's also a lot of fun. And if you can get him focused on, something that he's really enjoying, and he likes being outside. So, this time of year, summer months, we just try and make the most of that as best we possibly can, get outside as much as possible, try and, avoid the craziness of the heat, which is pretty tough at the moment because we're mid heat wave again. But yeah, if any parents have got any little tips and tricks on these situations, like how you manage stuff, are you fortunate to have, like, the village around you that everyone talks about? Are you in that situation where actually you live very close to your parents, whether that's both sides, whether that's one side? Have you got people near you that can help out, stepping in these moments? Or are you very much doing it alone? And I do think that the sort of doing it alone is probably a lot more common nowadays as well. I don't think as many people, still live in the same town that they grew up in, the same town as their parents. I would say it's, becoming more and more common that people move around, and whether that's abroad or whether that's just to a different place in the same country. So yeah, I'll be interested to know how everyone else gets on. But yeah, we definitely got that message and started to panic a little bit. But as it turned out, it wasn't too bad in the end. And it's a little bit of a little bit of insight as to what we're potentially going to face in the future. So give me a shout and let me know. Any of my socials at Ben Howard Fitness, you can get me. ben@benhowardfitness.com is the email. Comment below wherever you happen to be listening or watching to this episode. Like it, subscribe, give it a rating, give it a review, share it far and wide, all of that good stuff that I know you guys are doing for me and I'm very, very thankful for. And I'll be back again very soon with the next episode.